Hey, everybody, welcome to the Quill and Cauldron. I'm Carrie,
I'm Melissa.
and we're the Quill and Cauldron. We are
Woo!
two rockin' awesome ladies here, just bringing it to you because we want to share everything amazing that we are going through on our own personal spiritual journeys. And we know there's more of us out there, and we're trying to build this community together, especially in the times that we're living, right?
Yep.
So, this topic is basically how we got here, how Melissa and I actually came to this point and decided to do this channel because it's ironic how we're only 10 years apart, so not a major gap of age, but our journeys have very been similar over the years, background stories and all that. But it's kind of cool how me at 52 and you at 42, we're on this very merge of spirituality at the same point
Yep.
in our lives, but yet with a decade apart, which I find very fascinating and awesome. So for me, spirituality was never really a huge thing in my life, but it was always speckled through my life. And it started with all different areas that you wouldn't even think would happen, but it could be from life, almost life death experiences. It could be just from
Right.
people you live with. It could be religions that you're exposed to. It could just be going walking in nature and learning all about nature. You have no idea. There's all these different forms of spirituality that have been risen to the best form or totally ruined and brought down. And we want to change that. We want to bring spirituality to what it means to us, what we're doing for ourselves personally, and how we want to share that with all women and men alike who are like minded, who actually feel and want to do the same things we're doing as a whole for a mind, body, spirit. That's at least where I am. What do you think, Melissa?
Same. Basically, kind of we're starting out, let people see how this is going. And if they're trying to start a similar journey, maybe our paths give them inspiration and things to look into. So I'm really excited about this. And yeah, I've had lots of things in my past and my present that kind of just draws me to the practice even more.
Exactly. And for me, it was like, I think regardless of all the things I've gone through as a kid, which I'll discuss in a moment, but for me, it was 2 years ago when I was turning 50. It seems like a pivotal point in my life, this huge milestone, the midpoint of my life, because if we're lucky, we have 50 more years, right? If not more. And with
Yeah,
technology and getting rid of disease, we could have more. You never know. But for
yeah,
me, it was like, I'm at this pivotal point in my life. What the hell do I want with my life? Who am I? What do I want? Where am I going? Because I know my life as a married woman. I know my life as a single, just Carrie. I know my life as a mom. But sometimes you're wearing so many hats, you don't really know who you are anymore. Right?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I said, I need to basically do like do a reboot. Who am I? Where am I going? What's this world going? Where are we going with this world? What's happening? And then of course politics, which we don't want to talk about here, but that does affect your life, especially the last bloody decade. And
Yes.
you need to sometimes reassess.
Yep. Yep. And
So
now that the kids are all older and more independent, it's like you get free time. And now I'm kind of like, oh, what do I do with myself? What did
exactly.
what did I used to do?
Yeah, you
So,
remember when you're in your 20s, like BC, I call it BC before children, or whenever that was for you. For me, I was 25 when I got
hey,
pregnant. So it's been
I was
almost
20.
20. Well, she'll be 27. It'll be 27 years this June that I've been a mom. It's crazy. To think I was 25, it feels like you're in high school when you look at 52 when you're
Yeah.
looking back.
I
But you
was
weren't.
my daughter's age now. That's how old I was when I got pregnant. So she's 20. So I didn't have much
That
time to
whole growing up
discover
childhood
myself
part.
at all.
Yeah.
I didn't have
Yeah.
time to discover myself at all.
Right. And
So,
now you do, and you're
yes.
at
And
the zone
it's
where I
so much
am.
fun.
It is so much fun. Isn't it so much fun? Like, I mean, I'm looking forward to tats and I'm looking forward to piercings and I'm
Oh,
looking
yeah.
forward to changing my
Yes.
hair. And I feel we're butterflies, but we're the caterpillar first, right? And we need
Yes.
to literally go through that whole transformation and cocoon and chrysalis to come out to where we want to be now. And it bloody well takes 20, 30, 40 years of all the shit in between to
Right.
figure out who you are, what you want, and what do you want to do with your life, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
A woman, not a
A
man.
woman.
A,
That's
it's a
right.
woman.
A woman. Hashtag. Whenever you see this, think of
Exactly.
the quill in the cauldron. I'm
That's
fed up with
good.
a man. It's a woman.
Amen.
We do a lot
Yes.
more, not knocking men, but we do a hell of a lot more, and we put ourselves through our bodies and everything way more. We are the lifeblood of this planet. Without us, I don't know where we would be, in my personal opinion.
Right.
Exactly. So to get back
Yeah.
to the spirituality and where we got here, before we get started, our tagline, everybody, is brew your potion, pull up a chair, and step into the magic with us. So that's what we're asking you to do now. And we're going to have these specialized mugs that we're going to be using ourselves, and we'll sell too later. So if you want one, look forward to in the future. We'll let you know when that happens. But so we really want this to be like coffee table, or in our case, cauldron conversations. We really want to
Yes.
step into the magic and talk about it, everything, the good, the bad, and
Yes.
the ugly, all of it.
And if you feel like wearing a witch hat or anything, do it.
Do
We
it.
encourage it. I might
Exactly.
have one day, but I don't.
I
I
have
haven't
one.
found one. Oh, I haven't found one I liked yet. I might have to make it.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah,
We'll
Melissa's very,
see.
very crafty. She's
I
extremely
do like
crafty.
to make things.
Yeah, I have one in the closet
So
because it's Skylar's. And after she moved to London, we have all our extra stuff. So I know exactly where it is. It's in the closet. um, okay, so spirituality for me, like I said, would start. It's literally, I will tell you the date. January 7th, 2024 was the date that I had. It was a Tuesday night. It was the night before we were flying to London with Sky to go figure out where she was going to live, what job she might have, sections of London, and then visit some family in between because my husband is British and our children are half British, half American. And so she wanted to move out there, see her family, and kind of fill her roots over there. And I did it in my 20s, so I highly recommend it. And by doing that, I had set up tarot reading with one of my best friends, Vanessa. She's 60 years old. She's been doing tarot since she was 20. It's 40 years of education. She does the most amazing courses. She's a coach. She's everything. She's my go-to for like that type of thing. I need to know things, tarot, astrology, numerology, things like that. She's so vast in all this information. So I booked a 2-hour session with her to have a deep dive for the full year of 2024 of where I'm going, because I knew things were changing. I could feel myself physically changing. When you get into perimenopause, you are physically changing. Your cells are changing. Your eye shape is changing. You're losing all sorts
my
of
hair
things.
changed to more wavy.
Yes, I have more curls as well. I have the
Yeah.
driest eyes. I have to use fresh tears now. It's so fun. There's other lovely symptoms that come with that, but that's another discussion for another day. But the long story short of that, she said to me, "You are on this amazing path of spirituality now." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's so weird," because that's what I was thinking. And so, like, after she did the whole cards for the year, she read it out to me, and I'm on this big spirituality kick. She said at the time I was a bookkeeper and I was running my business. She's like, "You're going to have your bookkeeping business." She's like, "But you're not going to make a huge amount of money. In fact, you're not going to like the clients you really work with." And she's like, "And you're just not going to thrive in that. It's not who you are. It's not, numbers are part of what we need to do for life, but it doesn't light you up because it's not what you do. You're not a number person. Like, you enjoy and respect numbers, but it doesn't light you up." And I'm like, so true.
Right.
And she said, "I just wouldn't go anywhere really with my bookkeeping company that would stagnate. But in the middle of all that, I would be learning from other spiritual teachers about tarot, immerse myself in that, and I'm type A, so I'm like, okay, this course, this course, this course, this course. You know, I'm always like, cross my eyes, dot my I's and cross my T's. So that long 2 hours, which wasn't very long, it went by when you're that engrossed and it's that informative. It's just like amazing.
Yeah.
Long story short of it was, she's like, "You're just going into spirituality. You're going to learn everything there is about it. You're going to learn all the things that light you up. And there you're going to learn about your intuition, and you're going to connect to your spirit guides, and you're going to be so in connection with them and on this level with them over time that you will always know where you are and what you want, and you'll just grow to this higher consciousness and be the best version of yourself." And I was like, "Yes, please." So
Nice.
that's
Yeah.
kind of where that launched me, which was January 7th, 2024, which this year will be 2 years. And I have done exactly that. I closed my bookkeeping business, didn't light me up. I'm changing jobs. I figure out who I am and what I want while I'm doing this. And I've taken 3 courses and I have a ritual journal and it's all tarot. And I can't wait to learn numerology and astrology and all the things in between. So that's where I am. So where are you, Melissa? How did your launch start?
So I've always been interested. I always struggled with the Christian gods, so I was trying to
Yes.
find my own way. Nature always pulled to me, and just being by myself. And let's see. Dysfunctional childhood, like that is what mostly solidified, I think, my um, agnosticism in an early age. So. And then I've tried a lot after that to have the relationship with the Christian God. And it
Me
always
too.
felt so fucking fake. So fucking fake. And like, and I would go to churches and it always felt like a cult. No matter what denomination, I always felt it felt like a weird cult. So I'm not a fan of organized religion at all. Um, my mom bought me my first tarot deck in high school. She was not your, she was an unorthodox Christian. So she believed in reincarnation. She read a lot of Edgar Cayce, No Eyes, who was a Native American woman. Um, so luckily, I did not have an upbringing that was forced down my throat. But anyway, so I got my tarot deck. I started messing around with spells. Um, and then like off and on for the past years, I've always done it. I've always done readings for myself and other people, which can be another episode because I have some stories of some really fucking crazy ones for other people.
That'll be an
That
excellent
were like
episode.
really intense. But so that'll be fun. But yeah, but last September, I think like I felt really lost. Last July or August, I quit my full-time job. I took I took a pay cut of half of my salary to
Yeah,
go
that's
work at a
huge.
grocery store part-time. And it was pretty toxic and exhausting, but it was good. I got exercise and it was getting me out of the house around new people again because I had worked virtual for a few years. So I didn't socialize anymore, and I am a very social person. So like
Yes, you are.
definitely that definitely like dampered my flame a little bit. And then um so fast forward, and then I met this very dear coworker who was like a carbon copy of me, maybe 1 or 2 years older, but and Latina. But other than that, we were very similar. We were very close. Um, and she was well into Wiccan at that point, and I was like, "Oh, I think you crossed my path for a reason because
I
I am
agree.
trying to get back into this." Started doing my readings regularly, and I started a grimoire, so I wrote everything down. Um, and I had this one reading that was like, "You need to be honest," and I questioned honesty. I was like, "I am being honest." And then I realized it was I need to be honest with my husband. So we sat down and had a really deep talk. I told him what I wanted, the practices I wanted to do, you know, and he was like, "Oh, that's awesome." He was actually really supportive about it. So once that was opened, I built my altar. As you can see, I don't know what that squeak is about, but I built my altar. Um, and I have my grimoire now, so I try to keep everything in there. Um, but yeah, so I've practice off and on pretty much my whole life. I remember in high school, I did 2 spells. I did 2 love spells. One later in life, we connected and there were no sparks actually. So it was like, oh, okay. But the second one is my husband. So I did a spell in high school, but we didn't actually get together until 10 years after high school. We always had the same friend group. We hung out outside of school. He always had a girlfriend, but I knew deep down, I always loved him and I really wanted to marry him. I even made characters for us in Sims. Um, and made us date and have babies in that game like a cheesy high school girl would. Um, so,
I think
and we
it's
sat next
romantic.
to each other. Yeah, I think it's cute. We
I think
sat
it's
next to
romantic.
each other in chemistry class, so we were actually chemistry partners, junior year
Well,
of
there you
high
go. You
school.
started off with chemistry there,
Right.
baby.
So it's kind of fitting.
Yeah.
Um, and I've done like readings for other friends. Again, like I've had some intense ones that I can share. So basically, my curiosity and explorations um, have just kind of been confirming that this is the right path for me. Like I am where I'm supposed to be. I'm taking the steps I need to. And my readings are confirming that, and my life confirms that. Like, I have done a couple rituals that are coming to fruition. Um, so it is really exciting to see this happen. Um, what about you? Oh, and then I also had, sorry, this is my last
No, no.
one, and
I
I'm
was
going
going
to
to ask
let
you
you
what your
share.
rituals were.
I
So,
absolutely love this one. So when um, this was actually a year ago, so I guess I started getting back into it earlier than I thought. But we rescued a bunny from outside because our dog
oh,
unfortunately got the mom and injured the other two. We tried calling in the local rescue. Nobody answered. Nobody called us
ugh,
back. So we just Googled the fuck out of everything of what to do for a baby rabbit. Like its eyes weren't even open yet.
oh,
Um, so we babied it and he stayed with us. We say we don't know. He stayed with us for 3 weeks and um, he got really fluffy and really healthy and really energetic, but they're nocturnal. So he wanted to go crazy when we were trying to sleep. And it was in Googling, wild rabbits, if you keep them at home, they don't. A lot of times they go crazy. Like it's not good. They don't
oh,
encourage it. So we
okay.
basically built a pen for it outside and put wire over it so birds couldn't get it or predators, but he could fit through it. But so 3 days of that, on the third day, I remember waking up for my morning wake and bake, and I was outside.
Wake and bake. I just got that. I'm like,
Oh,
what? Go ahead.
I, I was outside, and like then I didn't really know specific gods and goddesses to talk to, so it was just kind of like I was just like, oh, goddess of flora and fauna, if you see fit, if he is ready to go back into nature, please accept him and help him. And that afternoon he was gone.
Oh, wow.
So I like to think that he was accepted so yeah. But what about you? What kind of what has stuck out for you along the way
With tarot and being exposed to tarot and
or anything?
spirituality.
I know you had a crazy experience introducing you to
Oh,
Trevor,
because
like
you talked
stuff
about
like
Charlie, yeah. And I
yeah.
wouldn't ever knowing I don't know Charlie as long as you do, of course, but what I do know of Charlie, because I've known him since 2022 and 4 years now. I love him. I think he's a fabulous guy, and I can't imagine him ever being like, I'm too cool for school. You know what I mean? Like that's not Charlie. So
No, not at all.
Charlie is he's your guy. He's an awesome man.
Yes.
I love Charlie. But yeah,
Nice.
to mention going from your husband backstory to mine, this was all spirituality. This was we're all born, in my opinion, and I've read and I've journaled and I've researched, we're all born with birth angels. We all have our spirit guides. We have teams of them. We also have our family members that have passed. We're supposed to
Right.
be a part of, like, we're supposed to be the same soul in all these different lives. We all could have past lives. This could be our first life. We could have more to come. I don't know. We'll
Right.
know when we know.
Right.
But I
Yes.
believe in that. I believe that there is truth to that. And so I believe that my dad's mom, who died of cervic cancer, unfortunately, months before I was born, I believe she chose to be my birth angel. I've
Yeah.
always felt a pair of eyes on me, like someone watching me. I felt comforted. I felt protected almost all of my life. Even during my crazy seizure years, I even felt it stronger
Right.
then. And then when I got past that stage, which is another episode about that and another day, but when I got past that stage of having seizures, we went on vacation. And long story short of it, I'm in Orlando, Florida on International Drive, 1997, August 1987, and it's bloody hot out. It's not global warming hot yet, but it's still freaking hot for the South. And I'm from Massachusetts, so it's like frickin' frack here. So the first thing that a 13, almost 14-year-old wants to do is go swimming. That's all you think of. You're on vacation. What do you want to do? You want to go swimming. So
Yep.
I walked to go swimming. Was following my brother. He ran and he's right in the pool and I'm like right behind him and we're 18 months apart. So he was like 11 and I wasn't like at the edge. I was getting close to it. But as I was getting closer to it, I got physically, I've never felt this ever again, minus that one time. I've had other deja vu where I felt things maybe on my ear or I felt like a hand on,
Right.
but the physically pushing, never felt that until that one time. So I'm walking, I'm determined to go in the pool. I'm almost 14 years old. So just to give you, I'm a teen or a brand new teen, and I had this massive physical push that literally had me off my heels, like two step back and steady myself again. And I was like, what? Okay, that was weird. You just thinking whatever because you're 14, you're like whatever, and so you go to do it again because you just brush that off, and then I get like fully forced again, back up again. Almost fell on my ass this time, didn't. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, am I going crazy? What is pushing me here? So I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm determined to go in this pool. I'm bloody sweating my ass off. I go in, I'm ready to go in. I get forced so hard, I almost am on my ass. And that at that point, it's like three strikes, you're out. So I'm like, okay, what is it? What do you want me to do? Like, who are you and what? Like, I was getting very
Right.
angry because you're not letting me go swimming. What is your problem? You know?
Yes.
And so it just, at that moment, I felt my whole body just like, and I'm assuming it's my nana, my dad's mom, turned me
Right.
around and then pushed me in the direction she wanted me. And so I'm looking at like all it is pavement everywhere because we're in this Marriott hotel slash, it's like a little resort. This
Yeah.
is when Panama Jack was huge, and you're smudging yourself in oil and you're burning up. You're laying on
Yeah.
aluminum
Skin
foil,
cancer. Yeah.
1980s. Let's go.
Yeah.
And so, and it was full of Europeans too. There was a lot of Speedos and a lot of toplessness. I was like, oh, I've never seen that before. What are we doing? But they were there too, all the women. So I kept walking because I could feel the energy behind me. Like, if you don't move, we're pushing you. I'm like, I got you the last three times. So I'm
Yeah.
walking. I eventually walk up into this jacuzzi and I'm thinking, in what world you pushing me away from a refreshing pool to a jacuzzi? That is 1,000,000 degrees. I didn't understand. So I'm like, whatever, I didn't want to be pushed again. So I'm moving. And as I got closer, I saw this beautiful boy and I was like, oh, okay. I get you now. So that's all I need to see.
Right.
I'm walking faster
Forget the
now.
pool.
Forget the pool. We see the boy. The boy's in the jacuzzi, and I'm like, "Ooh, he's nice."
Yeah.
And I could tell I had better eyesight than I do now, but I could tell hot, hot boy. And as I get closer, I see he's fully tanned. He has like olive coloring, short, curly, wavy black hair. It's so brown. It's brown, but it's black. I mean, that's how dark it is.
Right.
He has, lovely long eyelashes. I can see that full, beautiful lips. He has nice, like rosy cheeks, natural. You know how boys sometimes have that beautiful coloring. You're like, bastard.
Yes.
Yeah, that he
Naturally.
has that.
The most beautiful eyelashes, whatever.
I know. I'm like, it's like a peacock. Is it a peacock with the whole? They got the
Yes.
feathers, but the girls look ugly. I'm like, what is this
Actually,
crap?
most animals, the
The
male
boys
is
always
more
are prettier.
attractive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so rude.
Bastards.
I
Just so.
bastards. Like in that movie
Anyway.
Office Party, bitches. But anyways,
Yeah.
I love that scene so much. Anyways, going back. Um, so I see all this and I'm like, yes, please. And I'm like, I understood he was European because he's wearing a Speedo. During the 1980s, there was no Americans that I knew of
I
ever
mean,
wearing
still
that.
now,
It's
not
a
many.
rarity. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
rarity. So I was like, cha-ching. I felt I hit the jackpot. So I'm like, I'm going in.
Right.
So I sat in there and we're just staring at each other. And I was like, I'm very extrovert. Can't sit there more than a couple minutes to look at someone and be like, are you kidding me? Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to try to talk here? Like, what's
Right.
going on? So I'm like, hi, my name's
So,
Carrie. What's yours? And said his name, and all I heard was like gobbledygook. And I was like, oh, but what I did understand was he was British because I had watched the TV show The Monkees with Davy Jones
I
and
love that
Mikey
show.
and Peter York
Yep.
and the other Mike. I forget
Mike
Mike.
Nesmith, he was my
Nice Mike
favorite.
Nesmith.
Yep.
Yeah. With the
Yep.
hat, which you love. And that's how I fell in love with British people because I never knew about them until that show. And I was about 8 years old at the time. So we're talking 6 years before then that my mom informed me of Davy Jones, how he was part of this group, how it's on an American TV show, but he's from England and what England is and British speaking people and that there's Europe and all these other countries. And it was a full education for me because I didn't know anything besides, like the Smurfs and Rainbow Bright and going to school. So I'm
Right.
like, what's all this? And that was quite fascinating to me. And that was it. The minute I saw this Davy Jones guy and heard his voice, even though I'm 5'9" and this dude would be way too short for me. And he was
Well, at
short
that
then
age,
too.
you didn't know.
At
You
that
didn't
age,
know.
and I didn't care. He was up there at that point. Yeah. I fell in love with this guy. Didn't even know, just fell in love with the fact he was British. He was handsome. He had a great voice and he was dreamy. And I'm like, this is all I want. And I said to myself at that age, I'm not marrying an American. I'm marrying a Britishman, no matter what. I set it in stone right at that age. So here we are,
Nice.
fast forward 6 years later. I'm almost 14. I'm in this jacuzzi. He speaks. So I was like, oh, he's British. But I couldn't understand a word. And then my stepfather unfortunately shows up because we were supposed to go to Epcot within the hour and they were getting us ready to get out of the pool or whatever, getting us collected before we had to go. And he's like, oh my God, Carrie, we're only here 2 days and you've already hooked yourself a boyfriend. And I was like, oh, how embarrassing. So I wanted to
Yes.
kill him, but you can't. And so
Nope.
he asked me what the boy's name is, and I was like, and I didn't want to be embarrassed or embarrass him and make us all look stupid. So I was like,
Right.
and I'd already asked Trevor twice at that time,
Yes.
and he said his name, and then John, my stepfather, intervened and said, fine, I'll ask him since you're not going to tell me. And I'm like, I don't even know. And so he asked him, and then Trevor said Trevor. And I was like, I could hear, it's as if a light switch went on or something in my ears, and I
You were
could
out of
I
La
could
La Land.
hear,
Like in the
yeah,
movies, everything like
is
fades out and all
music.
it is la 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 la. Yeah, the cheesy music and you're like floating with the cartoon hearts.
That's
Anyway,
right. Exactly
you
right.
snapped out of it.
I finally snapped out of it. I could hear his British accent and his wording and what he said. And I intervened. I'm like, oh, Trevor, this is John, this is Trevor. And from there, I was like, he's being my vacation boyfriend. He has no choice.
Yep.
I made him mine. And thankfully, he didn't mind. And here we are
Nice. Yeah.
39 years later. We've been married 30 years. We've been together 32 years. And I've known him for almost 40
That's
years, more than
awesome.
half my life. Yeah.
Yep.
And we wrote for 7 years after that.
I've
So
known
yeah,
Charlie
that was
for
my
half my life. But
more
we
than
haven't
half your
been married.
life.
Yeah, we've only been married for this will be what year is this? This is 2020, 15 years, October.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
awesome. You
Yeah.
got to start somewhere.
Right.
Exactly. So that was my biggest, massive, physically
Yeah.
transformation,
That's
or whatever the word I'm trying to say here, of that into spirituality
right.
without even knowing anything about that. Except like after that happened, I
Yeah.
never even thought about it again. I mean, I wrote about it in my book and I've always had that in my memory, but I never put it together. Does that make sense? Until I
Right.
got older
Yeah.
and I was like, wait a minute.
That's what that
That's
was.
what that was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that. And then ever since then, I think it's like puberty and your period and all those transformations, then other things start happening, right? Because you're changing again cellularly, you're changing internally,
Yes.
you're changing through hormones, you're changing. So I think another piece of you is connecting, if you allow it, to that realm, or you could break down some more of that
Right.
so-called invisible wall or
Right.
And so at that point onward, I started to get more premonitions. I started to see things in dreams,
Yep.
and then they'd come true, and I'd be like, "Oh my god!" So it's like you're having foresight, right? That's what that is. That's foresight.
Yes.
You're seeing it already happen, and then you live it. And then or you have deja vu. I mean, I've actually sat at the kitchen table. This happened in England years ago too, and I'm sitting there, and I went to eat something, and I had just said something, and it just caught me, and I was like, I've eaten this and said this already. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So I've
Yep.
had many of those things too, and
I've
I
had a lot
understand the
of
law of
deja
attraction
vu.
as well. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I did. Deja vu comes a lot. I don't remember a lot, but when it happens, I'm like, it's always kind of like, oh, I've been here before. Um, and then, but dreams, I do have a lot of dreams that come to fruition. I remember one specific one was my mom really excited, and she was like, I'm gonna be a grandmother. I'm gonna be a grandmother. And I was like, oh my God, yay, who's gonna have the baby? And she was like, you are. And I was like, so I woke up. But that day I took a
What?
pregnancy test. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Because I was 20, and unfortunately the guy I was with was 29.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Lots of grooming there, but
Yep.
anyway, uh not more stories for other days because that shit never ended. And she is 20 now, and it's still, I still hear stories, and I'm like, oh my God. But anyway, my mom, I had that dream, so I woke up, and that day I took a pregnancy test, and I was pregnant. So like I quit smoking that day. I did,
Oh,
so it was like, so that was weird. That was really weird because that was like, it was so vivid. So that was a big one. And then lots of intuition, like maybe I need to wait an extra second at the stop sign or something, and then you see a car fly by, or like
yes,
a bike come around the corner that you wouldn't have seen. So lots of stuff like that too. So, and a lot of
absolutely. I've had
people, I
those.
think, take that for granted or say it's miracles by God. And I'm just like, but you know, there's so much more than God. We're hoping that you guys, whoever's watching, notice that we're trying to create a nice, welcoming environment for everybody. And we just are excited. I'm really excited, share experiences and, having people grow with us. Um, so what is it you've said before, like curiosity over perfection? So that's what we hope to achieve in this channel is more, a lot of discovery, a lot of learning, and mostly their growth, but a lot of obviously our growth is not going to happen for you guys to see live on YouTube. But eventually we'll do live readings and stuff. But yep,
That's
we
right.
got lots of plans to grow. So we're
Exactly.
excited. So, well, as our conversation may be ending, the magic always flows.
Till next time, trust your intuition, follow the magic, and keep the cauldron brewing. I did
Thanks for joining us.
it. Yay, our first
Yay!
episode. Until next
We did
time.
it. Yes.